Well, hi, good morning. Welcome to my shop and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be looking at three very old speakers. There it goes. Hey, we're off to a good start. I'm going to be looking at three very old speakers, each one of them about 100 years old. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to look at them in this order, 1, 2, and 3. And I can tell you I don't know a lot about these speakers right now. Oh my gosh, there's cats everywhere in the house. And I probably won't operate these, although I might make an attempt on a couple of them. So, okay, I have to flush the cats out of here, and we're going to start with this big cone speaker here. And by the way, I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff. I'm learning this as we go along too. So, oh my gosh, cats, will you just come on? it's cat crazy in here. Because so many of you love looking at my cats, I'm going to leave this running a little bit longer here. What kind of trouble can they cause? Okay, time to go somewhere else, yeah. Shop's boring now. Okay, let's start with this first speaker here. Bye, guys. Okay, let's take a look at how this is constructed. So this cone is not original. This is fiberglass or something. I don't know where it came from. I was given this by a friend, and shame on me, I never returned it to him. That's why I have it. I don't think he's missing it though. So basically, this is just a hollow cone. There's nothing in here at all, and it's attached with this ring, which I'm not going to take off. This is basically a great big earphone. It's really just a single diaphragm, a flat diaphragm in here, and some coils underneath to cause the diaphragm to move. Very same as a pair of headphones, but not the same as modern headphones. They'd be more the same as I don't have any really old ones. You know what? I do have something down here. I don't know if I can get them out though. Let's see. Yeah. Here we are. It's a little bit like one of these, only really big. So this has, I'm pretty sure this is the original cord. Look how flexible it is. It's fantastic. It has these typical pin type connectors to fit the radios of this vintage. Now this one actually has some written information on it. Take a look at. And this one, I will make an attempt at making this thing make some sound. So here it says Radiola Loudspeaker, Radio Corporation of America, so RCA. There's the RCA sticker there. Model, it's got a model number, UZ1325. Maybe we'll look that up and see what it says. Can't say I've ever looked underneath this. Would you believe it? All the years I've had this, I've never looked underneath it. So this is probably some kind of adjustment for the diaphragm positioning. F and plus. Oh no, P and plus. So P means plate, means the plate of a vacuum tube. And plus means going to the positive terminal of the power supply or battery, and probably a battery, something like that's going on. These speakers are very high impedance, a couple thousand ohms. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Well, let's find out. We'll just do an ohm meter reading. It's not revealing the impedance exactly, but interesting to do this anyway. We'll find out if there's continuity in it also at the same time. So I'm on the, got my fingers all over this. Let me get this like this. So that would be, I think, 900 ohms. Yeah, 900 ohms. Okay, a little less than what I thought. These would be put right in the plate circuit of the output tube of the radio involved. Consequently, as you can see from the notations under here, the B plus voltage was brought right up, right to here anyway, outside of the radio. If you were wearing a headphone at the time, it would be similar to this, but not this size, of course. It'd be made to go on your ear. B plus coming right up to your ear. That's not a very happy way to do things. So basically, the plate current is flowing through this, through the coil in here, and as the plate current varies, it varies the magnetic field, makes the diaphragm go, and out comes the sound out of the big hole here. Okay, let's see if we can make it work. Now, I can't hook this up to an ordinary amplifier for two reasons. One, I actually don't have one in here that I can use in a handy way, but I have this guy, and pretty sure this guy can produce a fair voltage, I believe, and so I think it can drive this speaker. Let's find out. A couple clip leads here. Even though there's a plus and there's no polarity inherent in this. Now the machine I'm using here is a little wonky too, and sometimes there's no output. So you might have to fiddle with it too. And these clip leads aren't even 100%. Okay. So right now we're on B scale, 1000 hertz. Okay, now we don't know that it's working. So first I have to prove that it's working. So I've got to grab a good speaker here. Just any old speaker. And we'll prove this thing is working first. How do I know this speaker's good? There we are. We have some sound. Okay. That was turned up pretty high on that other kind of speaker. Maybe there won't be enough juice here to hear it, but maybe it'll just be faint. Oh, there we are. Oh, it has that old radio sound to it. Probably because it's coming out of here. And of course, that's aimed. My microphone's just right here, so you're just inches away. There we are. Pretty good. Wow. Sounds pretty good, actually. We'll go up a little higher. I can still hear it. Losing it right around here, about 10 kilohertz. That could be my ears. Could be the reproducer. Well, okay, that's good. That's nice to know. And we'll leave this here. Okay, that's it for this one. There's really nothing more I can do with it. But how great is that it works? I'll take a look at the next one. The next one is this one here. It's a bit of a monster, this thing. Feast your eyes on this thing. Has a paper cone. So I'm going to guess with the paper cone there, this has got to be from the late 20s. Maybe the early 30s even. I really don't know. No, this was given to me along with a radio, a Rogers radio, which is definitely from 1925. So as he handed it to me, he said, "I think this is the speaker that goes with it." Is it? I can't find any writing on this speaker. If there ever was, it's gone now. It has a fixed connector here, so I could look at that radio and see if there's a spot for this to plug right in. The cable here has some words on it. It says speaker. Look at that, eh? That's just fantastic condition. Hard to believe. I wonder, could it have been reconed at some point? Because it's in beautiful condition. And this is pretty heavy duty, this material. It's got a ring to it. Sounds like a drum. So it has a big coil here to produce the magnetism that it needs. So that does date it. Oh, there's something written right here. Patented. I'm telling you, it says 1729-407. Is there anything more written on it? That's probably something to do with the cone itself. Patent. So it's not patented on that date. It's patent number 1729-407. I wonder if we look that up. Maybe our AI knows something about this. Maybe. So this big coil needs to be energized with a chunk of current going through it to produce the magnetism. You can see the wires coming down here, and then they just come to an end. Somebody has cut them clean right at this connector, or this clamp, just cut them right off. Why would they do that? You needed the wire for something else. That's a possibility. You know, oh, just take a chunk off that old speaker over there, Bill. You know, away she goes. Sometimes things are cut like this as an indication that there's trouble in here and you should not try to operate it. That can be sort of the message. This wire is very, very flexible wire here, soldered to a stiff wire coming out of the transformer, but this is all stiff here, all the way up to the speaker. There's some kind of tape or something, sleeve on it here, where it's coming past this metal bracket, maybe to protect it there. We'll put more light on this and I'll get a close-up camera and we'll look more closely at it. Let's just keep looking at it from this kind of distance here. So this is clearly an output transformer, so you'd be running through here the same thing you'd be running through that other speaker, except instead of going right into the voice coil, it's going through a transformer on the way. The wire all seems okay. Any other writing on here hidden away, maybe under some dirt or something? If I were to write on it, I would put a sticker on here, or a sticker on here. This bracket can be removed, so this is the real speaker. So I think I would have a sticker on top here. Maybe there once was one. There's no sign of it now, though. Okay, well, I'm going to see if I can find out something about this patent number here. And I'm just going to use the verbal side of an AI system. This is Microsoft's Copilot. And we will just, let's see if she's there.
Hey, Jim.
How are you today? She can't answer that question, I guess. I have some questions about old speakers. Can you hear me? Oh, wait a minute. I got something up here I have to... Edge Discover Chat V2 wants to use your microphone. Hello, are you there?
I'm here, Jim.
I've got some old speakers here on my bench I'm looking at, very old speakers, and I have some questions about them. I wonder if you can help.
Sure thing, Jim. Fire away with your questions about those vintage speakers.
Well, one of them, I'm looking for some kind of manufacturing name or something on it, and all I can find is a patent number printed on the speaker cone. If I tell you the patent number, are you able to figure out what it might be?
Absolutely, Jim. Go ahead and share the patent number with me.
Okay, and I imagine this must be an American patent number. Patent.
That's likely. Whenever you're ready, just let me know the patent number.
Okay, the number is 1729-407.
Okay, Jim. It seems that patent number 1729407 corresponds to an acoustic diaphragm. This was patented by Stevens Manufacturing Corporation in 1929. The focus was on diaphragms used in acoustics, potentially for speakers or similar devices. Does that help shed some light on your speaker?
Very much so, because the patent number is printed on the back of the speaker cone. And so actually it's the cone that is patented. And the interesting thing is, you said this is from around 1929. Here it is 2025, and the cone looks perfect.
That's pretty remarkable, Jim. Goes to show the durability of materials and craftsmanship back in the day. A well-preserved speaker cone from 1929, still in perfect condition in 2025, speaks volumes about its quality. What's next on your speaker adventure?
Well, now I know a little bit about the cone, but the rest of the speaker I don't know anything about.
Got
Do you have any idea what speaker this might be I'm looking at?
Identifying it without any labels might be a bit tricky. Does it have any other notable characteristics, like particular markings, design features, or maybe something unique about the cabinet or driver? Sometimes those can give clues.
I'm afraid, it's unique looking, but it's got all the standard typical components of a speaker. It has an output transformer on it. It has... Yeah, go ahead.
An output transformer suggests it's likely part of a tube amplifier system. This was common in older speaker designs, especially in the mid-20th century. If it looks like it belongs in a vintage tube radio or hi-fi system, that might narrow it down. Does that seem to match up with what you're seeing?
Well, that's exactly what it is. It is from an old tube radio. The person who provided it to me provided it with a very old, 100-year-old radio, a Rogers tube radio. But he said he didn't know much about it, so I don't know that the speaker goes with that radio. I don't know that. It does have a field coil, and the field coil wires have been cut off on it.
Could very well be that it's original to the Rogers tube radio. The field coil setup was a common feature in early speaker designs. If the wires were cut, it's possible it was disconnected from its original setup. You might have a gem on your hands there if you can restore it. Intrigued by the challenge?
Well, I have this old radio. That's what's really intriguing me, and this speaker may be useful with that old radio when I eventually get around to working on it. So now let me just... Thanks a lot. I'm going to say goodbye to you now. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Jim. Enjoy working on that radio. Take care.
I hate to say it, but she's more polite than a lot of people I've met in my life. Okay, and of course she's not a she, it's an it. It's not a person, as much as it seems like it. It's an it. Okay, now let's take a close look up in here at how it's constructed. We'll switch to this camera here. Where is that camera? What's it looking at? It's over here. So sometimes I have to look at what the camera is seeing to find out where I put the camera down. Okay, let's start with this. Why the chain link fence here? Why? I mean, I'm cheap. That's a chunk of wood shoved in here. I don't know. It's buckled out a bit here. buckled out because the wires go in on this side. So in here, I'm sure it's just a big coil. The question is there still some magnetism left? So they couldn't make really strong magnets back in the day. So there's a little bit of magnetism here. It's holding on to my screwdriver a little bit. So to produce a little bit of sound, even without energizing the field coil, it's possible. I wanted to look up in here. So one of the challenges in these speakers is keeping the voice coil. You can see some of the copper just exposed there. Keeping that coil centered properly inside the magnet is a real challenge. And the early speakers used various techniques before they developed what became called the spider. This one appears to have some kind of support structure there. Sorry, it's way out of focus. Not annoying. This camera's very annoying because it has autofocus, which takes its time. Yeah, can't decide what to focus on. Let me fix that for a minute. I'm going to stop the autofocus here. And then we will have better luck. I'm just calling up the dialog box and turning off the autofocus. And maybe we'll focus it just a little bit closer. Like that. Oh, there's some words on there, isn't there? .416? Something 16, I don't know. There's something else over here. That's just dirt smudges. Okay, no writing. Let's take a look again in here now that I got the focus under better control. You say, look at that fine wire, but it's not. It's a piece of dust or dirt. So I think there's like a metal ring, this flat metal ring going around it, and then from the ring are pieces going in, or an internal ring attached to it. The outer ring is held by bolts, and the inner ring is flexible against the little arms. I can kind of just make out right there. You know what I'm talking about. Let's move the cone a bit and see what happens here. On some speakers, you can move the cone back and forth, and you can find out if there's rubbing in here or not just by listening and feeling it. This cone is in like new condition. There's absolutely no rubbing going on inside. So it's a big speaker. This has a really good chance of producing good sound. Let's hit it with some signal here. Because there's a little bit of magnetism in here, we stand a chance of hearing this. I think I heard a little clicky sounds when I was hooking that wire up. Okay, once again, I can't be sure this is my speaker, my generator is producing here. Whoops, I'm looking the wrong way. Look up this way. Short clip lead. Well, we didn't hear that, did we? Not a thing. Should have done a continuity test first. Maybe that might tell the story right away. So it wouldn't be too surprising that the voice coil is defective. So I think at this point we would assume, oh, not the voice coil. I'm going through this transformer. The transformer primary could be dead. But the voice coils could still be good. There's some bare wire right here. Some right here. Not good. Not a good sign. I wonder if this is clear here a little bit because somebody before me did exactly the same thing I'm doing right now. Nothing. I don't like to give up easily, so I keep testing for a while. Well, unfortunately, I think we could say that this one is pooched as it stands. Just looking at its construction, it's got these large bolts going through, all the way through to this front frame. So it would look like if you took these bolts out, the big nuts back in here are hard to get to. It looks like this whole metal frame would come off. And the whole thing would go, the voice coil, the spider appears to be held onto this bracket with a rivet system or something. I can't really see what it is. So, it might be possible to pull this thing apart and rewind the voice coil and make it new again, make it work again. Don't know about, and there are people who would do this, who would take this whole thing apart and rewind the whole deal and the like. I'm not sure I'm one of those people. So anyway, we know the status of this thing. Pooched. 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 You think about it, I got an open circuit on the primary side of this. How do you get an open circuit on the secondary side? There's a coil in here. I should have read it. You know what? Maybe I just didn't have this. Maybe it's a much higher resistance than I realized. So you would think what that would mean then is the primary, like if a primary fails, the secondary won't. If the secondary fails, the primary won't. I think that's a bit of a rule there. You would normally find one of these things blown only one winding, not both sides. Oh, now I'm getting something. So the primary is good on this. How come I thought it was bad? The problem is the secondary is shot, and it looks like even the voice coil, because one of the two things should show up on the meter. I could see the wires in the voice coil. They're not that small. Nothing at all. So you blow the secondary and the voice coil at the same time? How do you do that? That would take some effort. Plus, I've never really blown up a speaker, but I would think it's a pretty loud situation when it happens. If it's just volume that's doing it, oh my gosh, like some screaming test tone or something, it would take a ton. It would blow your ears off. So how do you manage to blow something like this? Well, it could just be age-related failure of the insulation here, but that would just cause a short circuit. It wouldn't cause it to be open circuited. Open circuited. Is this wire really clean there? Or am I fooled? There could be like a coating on it at coating there now. Oh, what I see there? Just as after all that, I get a 0. This is saying this whole thing is good. Maybe. We don't know what's reading here. Is it the voice coil or is it the secondary? I got an idea. I have an idea. It's usually that's a problem with people, by the way. We get ideas. I don't think other animals get ideas. Well, maybe that's not true. I watch my cats. They'll be sitting there looking around, and you can almost see them get an idea of what to do. What am I doing here? I'm going to hook up this speaker in place of this speaker in here. That's what I'm trying to do. And we'll find out if this transformer is good. Maybe. Okay, I'll energize the primary side. There we go. Okay, anybody home? Huh. Just bad connection here. Well, how come you're not going? Hey man, what did I hear there? Ooh, I hear something. It's not this. Yeah, there it goes. It's kind of a come and go thing. I swear the sound is coming out somewhere else in the shop, and not from the speaker. Maybe it's because I'm on the plane of the speaker where I'm standing. But where I'm standing, I swear the sound is not coming from that speaker. It's really a weird effect. Probably a little bit because of the higher frequency. Oh, there's no doubt it's coming out of there. Well, there we go. Wow, I went from this doesn't work to hey, this works. Very good. Well, let's give it a frequency test here. So I don't have a lot of power. I can barely hear it. Oh! Wow, it really likes 80 hertz. Okay, wow, that's fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, feeling a lot better there. Funny how I virtually condemned this thing 3 ways, and then moments later, all 3 ways are working. That's why when it comes to condemning things like a tube or stuff like that, I am very careful. Okay, let's put this out of the way, and we're going to work on the last one now. That big speaker might have been very quiet because the field coil is not energized. It's just some residual magnetism. It's not much. So the voice coil is not pushing. Ooh, sorry about that. Not pushing against much. Okay, this piece. This is a big cast metal. Look at the faults in the casting here. There's all kinds of chunks ready to come off. all over the place here. There's cracks. But I think that's just this is cast. This is cast, and I guess maybe done with lousy metal. These have got all kinds of those starting things too. It's got some words here. See license notice on bottom. Oh yeah, there's something written on the bottom we'll look at in a moment. Look at the fancy stuff here. Screws hidden in the design, so you really can't spot the screws all that easily. I think that's what they were doing. It's like, oh, it's a double-sider, but huh? Okay. I would guess you'd drop a couple of screws out the bottom, and the whole thing lifts off the top. So, what are these screws holding then? This is a. No. What are they holding? I think they're holding the speaker. Speaker cone right there. Okay, let's look at the cord. And surely this is not an original thing. This is probably from the late 20s, maybe early 30s, I'm not sure. Cord is wearing out. Looks like it's intact. Should we just give it a shot right now and see what happens? Why not? Let's give it a shot of sound. Something happened in there. Can you hear it? I hear it. Another working speaker. Unbelievable. Okay, let's take a look underneath. And we'll turn it this way. The Model 100A. It's got a serial number 2172895. Well, they couldn't have made 2 million of these, could they? No, not here in Canada. Canadian General Electric. No, they would never have made 2 million of these. Design registered 1927. Patent applied for design registered 1927. CGE loudspeaker. So I'm gathering they had like one of these. This was it. This is our speaker. Canadian General Electric Company Limited, Toronto, Ontario. 4 screws. They're inviting me to take them out. That's cardboard or paper or something like that. Surprising how some materials hold up really well over time. That's some of the older materials. So I guess people would be pretty excited about getting a if they had radios previously to having a speaker radio, then they would have had a headphone or maybe one of those horn speakers, and I don't think they produced much volume. People had to kind of gather around the radio. Because even though they say a loudspeaker, it may not have been all that loud. It's caught here. There we go. Oh, what do we got here? So we have a pretty typical looking speaker, really. feel these screws here. Oops, let me just move the camera a little view of the light here. There, that's a little better. There's some kind of a lever-y thing here. Yeah, this lower part of the speaker is suspended. It's not, there's no attachment on that side at all. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out because why would I bother right now? My objective today was to look at these things and get familiar with them and know if they work or not. Yeah, the only thing I can see to take this out. Oh, look, here's another one of these ring things, like a little handle. What are you supposed to do with that? Just goes on a ring here. It's bolted down with those screws that are coming from the front, and it's into slots, so you could turn this a little bit. Why would you want to? Is it maybe to get the pattern perfectly straight and vertical? The pattern on the cloth, which looks great on the inside here. Looks, there's a pattern perfectly vertical on here. Well, it is, isn't it? So I'll bet you what they found was, if this is off just a little bit this way or a little bit that way, it drives people nuts. That's my guess. And so they arranged it so they could make sure when they put this on, they could get it exactly straight. They get that beautiful look in the cast iron speaker box. Let's take a look at this guy here. Well, that's the tang I was talking about. Okay, I'll follow the cord. What is this? Probably a transformer. So a lot of these wires have like the two wires and a string. Here's the string, and then you tie the string. The string becomes the strain thing. The strain thing. Okay, let's go a little further here. I'm not talking because I'm not sure what I'm seeing yet. Funny looking bracket coming over the top. I think that screw is right in the center of the speaker, I think. Interesting kind of metal here. It's could be aluminum, and maybe they used a non-magnetic material in places here for some reason. That's a pretty good chunk of aluminum. Aluminum, very expensive back then. I'm not sure if they would do that, or is this part of a magnet arrangement? that looks like a coil. Don't think we can figure it out by looking at the end here, what's going on exactly. Heavy duty stuff. Look at the screws on it, eh? Heavy duty. Yeah, I think that's a coil in there. And that would be... Well, wait a minute. There's only 2 wires coming up here. Then that's not a field coil in there. It's a magnetic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we got a strong magnet in there. Let's see if the model A100. I looked at this on the internet last night, and there's a RCA model A100 looks just like this. So I suspect the Canadian General Electric simply used the patent. So it says patent applied for. It doesn't say who applied for the patent. So there is something special about the RCA Corporation in the United States, and it was part of solving a huge patent problem with patent people ending up in court. And I don't know the story really, but something like that was going on. All the patents were swept together under one corporation by government edict, I think, and then a company could use the patent by paying a little bit of money. I don't know if I got that story right at all, but something weird was going on. So how it is that Canadian General Electric can produce an identical speaker with the same model number as RCA in the United States, I don't know. So what about this torn cloth? So the great thing about this speaker and all speakers, you only look at one side. So unfortunately this is the productive side. The cone is facing out. Well, we can see in there pretty good. Let's look in there a little bit. I can see in there pretty good, but soon you will too. I think. That flashlight. I got the focus up way too close. Let me adjust it here because I've got it on manual focus now. Maybe like that might be better. So that's the seam of the cone. That thing we're looking at, that could be the other end of the same nut I was looking at underneath. That is paper, isn't it? I would think so. But you know, it looks like metal right in the middle there. I'm hitting it with my finger. Yeah, I'm sure that's paper. Or cardboard, I guess. Well, I guess, I don't know. Cardboard's a special thing. Paper. Okay, very good. So I have 3 old speakers, all of them operating. And this guy, you know, actually has a fairly good look. It's pretty dirty, isn't it? Or is that just a reflection happening there? This side is fantastic, really, when you think about it. I mean, how it is this thing didn't get poked through. You can guess what happened here is somebody grabbed it like this, and then their fingers went in and wrecked it. That's a guess, but this is not good. Okay, well, there we go. There's 3 speakers. 4 if you want to include my test speaker. And the good news is they all seem to be operable. Fantastic. So thank you very much for watching this video. By the way, the video before this one, which is the last video on a radio I was working on, I'm having trouble getting that posted on YouTube for reasons I don't understand yet. So it's delayed going up. So this one will probably go up first while I sort out what's gone wrong with the other video that YouTube won't finish processing it for some reason. Yeah, stuff like that happens once in a while. So and then the next thing to come in here now will be a big honking complicated modern tube radio that will be very challenging for me, but looking forward to it. So thanks a lot for watching today, and see you on the next video, and watch for that finale video when I get it sorted out. See ya.